Awaken your inner genius, the true power of an authentic spiritual awakening. Most of our life we end up dilly-dallying about, really, don't we? We're so unconscious throughout the day. We've got the blinkers on. The mind is consistently thinking about crap and mostly fears, really, isn't it? That has no relationship to our lives at all. And so in this path, what we're really trying to do, not that it's really a trying to do, it just happens through the practice of sadhana, you will begin to awaken your inner genius. Now, I don't say that arrogantly. I'm not saying I'm a genius. I'm not at all. In fact, I'm really quite stupid sometimes. However, we are all the intelligence. What does that mean? It doesn't mean you are intelligent, although you might be, and I'm sure you are. It doesn't mean I'm intelligent, although as you look at me, you see a wonderfully intelligent young gentleman, don't you? Of course. But in a way, we are the intelligence that is creating worlds, that is creating solar systems, that created you, your mother, your dog, your cat, your sister. Oh, it can't be that intelligent then, right? But it is. It's the intelligence, and we're wanting to connect to that inside of ourselves, and that is the true power of a spiritual awakening. We're going to have a little conversation about this, an open, authentic conversation. But before we do, I just want to bring your attention down below to the free Freedom Toolkit, or the spiritual toolkit that you can use and sign up for down below. And you can do that. What it will give you is some sadhana. Sadhana just means your daily spiritual practice to bring about the highest aliveness of energy, to create and allow that inner genius to begin to unfold, to allow that intelligence that we are to begin to awaken inside of ourselves and blossom like a beautiful flower. That's included in your free awakening toolkit. And of course, if you're fed up of done with DIY YouTube yoga, then you can sign up for the Freedom Blueprint. That you can apply for that down below. This is a level up, and therefore I'm a very demanding person, and we will demand a lot of you. It's like going back to university with lectures and consistent, non-negotiable sadhana. Like, we can't just be in some days and out some days. It doesn't work like that. And speaking of that, really, that's leading me on to the next part of this journey, on the next part of this video. Where the hell are my words today? To have a true spiritual awakening in the first instance might come about as luck. Maybe not luck, maybe we could call it destiny, but perhaps we've done no inner work, not particularly, and then boom, something blossoms inside of us. A huge blast of Shakti can come through the system, and that is wonderful, but it can equally be disastrous. And the reason it can be disastrous is because, wow, we've tasted, or we've got a kiss from God or something like that, and naturally we come back crashing down to earth because the taste or the sweetness or the richness of that experience is not here in everyday life. Now, of course, you're never going to be the same again. Once you've had that awakening experience, you're going to see through a very different lens, but that lens can get clouded in a way. And so we have to do sadhana to bring about that authentic intelligence inside of ourselves. That's what truly awakens the inner genius, and it does that in a few ways. Sadhana is your best friend, because it will begin to realign your physical system in such a way, how can I describe this? Like a bucket with a hole in is no good as a bucket, is it? As soon as that water starts coming into the bucket, you're losing half of it, probably more than half of it, depending on where the hole is in the bucket. In the same way, in our pranic system inside of our bodies, our pranic nadis, nadi just means energy channels, tend to be very kinked up, very closed, and in a way, if you can imagine a hose flying water out, as soon as you put a kink in that hose, no water comes out. Now, in this way, that's the intelligence inside of the system, the prana inside of the system, bottlenecking. It stops working and doing the intelligent things that it needs to do in the system. And so, in a way, we must align our bodies with the intelligence, with the prana inside of the system that can allow those networks then of energy channels to begin allowing the energy to do the work that it needs to do. Most of us aren't in a position for the energy to do the work that it needs to do, and that's why we're always bloody exhausted. Or perhaps sometimes we might begin feeling experiences of energy getting stuck in the system. This is it. And so the intelligence is trying to work inside of the system, but we're not allowing it. Why? Because our bucket has holes in it. And so we must do the right training, isn't it, to get the body into alignment. And this isn't like a short fix. This isn't like putting some of that frog tape over the side of the bucket as a temporary fix. No, this is like getting a welding machine and consistently and properly doing the right fix on the job so that that bucket's in the right alignment to allow all of the water to pour into it, and it can conserve it and hold on to it. That can then become purified. If we come back to our system, then that prana can become, or that intelligence could be purified into our system to create a blooming wonderful life. Sadhguru, right, really great guru, he says, and this is true, I can see it in my system, you know, he says, if you gain control of the physical body, you can control about 10% of your life, maybe up to 20%. If you can gain control of your mind, you will be able to control 45% of your life. If you gain control of your life energies, the intelligence inside of yourself, you will control 95 to 100% of your life. This is why sadhana is your best friend. And this is why, in a way, we're wanting to allow our egos to get out of the way. You know, that opinion manufacturing machine, that fear churning, rhetoric making machine in the mind. We're wanting to integrate that into the intelligence that we are and allow that intelligence to create and manifest a beautiful life for us, which is in a way our birthright. But because we've been given free will, we have to get into alignment with that. We have to fix the patches in our bucket where there might be holes, and we have to be earnest in that if we want to see true effects. So here's to your authentic awakening, and here's to awakening the inner genius within that is inside all of us, because as you can see, this creation is genius. Lots of love. Namaste.